This evening I'm here with two good friends. This is Royal. She's one of the women that we've had the privilege of serving here at the Pregnancy Network. And also Lauren McClure. She is one of our staff nurses. And we're here tonight just to share a little bit about Royal's story. Royal, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Well, Royal, tell us a little bit about the circumstances leading up to when you found out that you were pregnant. What was your life season like? What was going on?
At the time when I found out I was pregnant, my life, I would say, was pretty upside down. So I wasn't expecting a pregnancy at the time. I kind of was, kind of thought I had it already pre-planned what I wanted to do for like the remainder of that year and so on, my life, like the next couple of years. So when I found out I was pregnant initially, I was not happy at all. I was very disappointed in myself and let down.
So what led you to come to the Pregnancy Network?
One of my good friends reached out to me because she saw, I reached out to her actually, and I advised her, told her I was pregnant and we discussed it. And she was just like, well, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't think this is a good idea for me. She was pregnant at the same time as well, and she was not happy about her pregnancy, but I noticed a change in her. She was super, for it. So I'm like, she was like, well, I'm going to tell you about a place that I think you should go visit. And so I decided, I was like, you know what? You can give me the information. She did tell me up front, hey, they're pro-life, so they're gonna, talk to you. And she was telling me how friendly everybody was and how personal sometimes the conversations can lead. So she was just like, if you're not comfortable with that, then don't do it. But if you don't mind it, try it out. I thought about it and I was like, okay, but I'm like, I don't think these people are gonna be able to change my mind. I already have my mind made up. I do not want any more kids. I already have a 6-year-old son. So I was like, well, I'll just give it a try. And I called, made an appointment, came, and I met Lauren, and she was awesome. Just immediately when I came in, my guard, everything just was down. And she stripped me bare, everything. I just poured out everything to her. Mm-hmm. And I had only known her for not even a day or a second. And I was just telling her everything.
So you guys connected right away?
We definitely connected right away.
Yeah. Well, Lauren, tell me a little bit about, from your perspective, I know you do a lot of appointments, week in and week out. And so typically, maybe describe what a typical appointment, what that content looks like, and then maybe talk about how that might have been a little different with Royal.
Yeah, so I knew ahead of time going into Royal's appointment from what she had told our receptionist on the phone that she was thinking about abortion, and I knew she wasn't happy about the pregnancy. And typically I'm pretty nervous about walking into those appointments just because you don't know how someone's going to respond when you start challenging them on that a little bit or poking holes in their reasoning. And a lot of times the appointments kind of focus on abortion procedures, what that looks like, the risks that come with it, talking about their fears, different things like that. But with Royal, her appointment was really unique. One, I felt like I was talking to a long lost friend from the moment that we walked in, and she was so open from the get-go and made me feel comfortable kind of saying some of the hard things or bringing up the hard things. And also, in every appointment I explain why we do what we do, and that all goes back to the gospel. Because of what Jesus has done for us, this is why we do this. And as I shared the gospel with her, I could emotionally, she was crying. I could see the gospel just break her down. And I realized okay, this woman knows the same God that I know. This woman knows Jesus. And I feel like Royal in particular, think you had gotten distracted in a season and your focus was not on God. And then you found yourself in this situation that was scary and overwhelming, and you just needed someone to remind you of who God is and who you are in God. And yeah, I mean, I could just see that change you as we spoke about it, which is really cool. Just awesome to see God move.
Well, talk about that a little bit, Royal. So it sounds like for you, you were able to really see the connection between your spiritual walk and then this decision that was in front of you. So how did this conversation with Lauren kind of make that come to a head?
It made it a lot easier. I didn't expect, when I got here, I did not expect her to talk about God in my spiritual walk. And when we started discussing God, it just, like she said, I was chills, bumps, and I'm just like, ugh, this is where I should have, I appreciated my friend at the time. Like, I needed to hear this. She pretty much put me where I needed to be, got me basically back on track. I, like you said, needed to be reminded. I think I just got so overwhelmed and scared, and just where I was at in life at the time, I was like, okay, bringing a baby in right now is not ideal, but our life, we don't plan it. And I think that was what I was trying to do the whole time, is plan out my life. And God had other plans for me. So when she reminded me of that, I was like, okay, I can't fake and lie. I had to just let everything out. And I was just like, you're absolutely right.
I think that's what we all really need, like whether we're pregnant or not, we need someone to speak truth to us in those tough times when we're faced with a tough decision. So it sounds like, would you say that was the turning point for you?
That was the turning point for me. I came in there with, I definitely discussed over the phone about abortion. I was like, you know what? I need to hurry up. It's COVID. Let me hurry up and make an appointment. I kind of had already experienced that in the past. So I was like, I did not want to go that route, but I was just like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't go the whole 9 months. I can't do this. I need to go ahead and terminate this pregnancy now. And so when I got here, again, it was just like written on my face that I knew God, and she saw it, and I'm like, oh God. And I just had to be honest, and I was like, you know what? And by the time that I left, I already had crossed, she even had asked me in an appointment, like, do you want to go over the options of abortion? And I'm like, no, I kind of pretty much, I already know that that's off the table. So that felt good to be able to know that I had got up enough strength and courage to say, I'm not doing that. But then I thought about other options that we did discuss, and I was like, okay. But again, when I left, I kind of already had knew, just sitting in that car, breaking down, praising God and just talking about it. I'm like, this is it. This is my plan. I don't have a choice.
Well, I like what you said about, you drew up the strength and the courage to make that decision. Right. It is a courageous choice. I mean, it's scary being
scary.
Pregnant. And so that's just really neat to hear about that process. Lauren, for you, when the appointment ended, what was kind of like the follow-up period like? Because I know you guys have obviously stayed connected.
Yeah, I think I knew that Royal had pretty much done a 180 in that appointment on what she wanted to do. But obviously, like, you get back in the world and all those pressures and all those reasons come back at you. So we kept in touch. I did a couple ultrasounds after that just to get you back in there and looking at your baby and just checking in. And I would get texts from her with her baby bump and when she found out baby was a girl and all those things.
Yeah, so that ongoing communication, would you say made a difference in like continuing with your decision?
Definitely. Just when I came and she actually shared that, if you're comfortable, I'll continue to, we'll have a friendship throughout this whole thing. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay. And I'm not expecting it to be like a real friendship or anything. You know how like you go somewhere, you just think people are doing their job and that's it, and you won't hear from them again. And so when I got that text, she's like, hey, this is Lauren. I'm like, whoa, she really texts me.
She's for real.
Right. She's really checking up on me. And, I don't, with everything that's going on around us with COVID, just being pregnant has been a little bit different. So it's kind of like a little neglecting. People can't come to your visits. And so it's kind of been everything by yourself. So just to have someone reach out to you, ask you how you feeling, everything okay. And I was just like, wow, she mean business and she's so serious about her job. And I like fell in love. I'm just like, I was so excited and happy that I met her and came here to get this experience. I would recommend it to anyone.
And so now you're due in November?
November 21st.
Yep. November 21st is coming up. Well, we're so excited to have been a part of your story, Royal, and I love hearing about y'all's relationship. And I mean, that's what the Pregnancy Network is all about, not just seeing women once and saying goodbye, but walking with women before, during, and after their pregnancies, and just really doing everything we can to make sure women are empowered to face their unplanned pregnancies without fear.